COVID generated an additional $180 billion in online spending over the past year, basically during the pandemic, and that's a 20% increase over the same period. What does that mean for consumer spending and e-commerce going forward?
Yeah, so COVID basically was a catalyst to the e-commerce channel last year. And what we saw when you look at the full calendar year of 2020 was $813 billion. That's 42% growth over 2019. That's basically like combining 2 years worth of growth into a single year. So consumers have really embraced the online channel to meet their needs, during these challenging times.
So these times have certainly been challenging, but we do see some light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccine rollout. What does it look like when we do have a full vaccine rollout, perhaps May, June, July, and we're seeing more vaccinations? Do you see those trends continuing?
Yeah, so we're all kind of wondering what that's going to do in terms of e-commerce. And we're forecasting this year somewhere between $850 billion, and that's if everybody, gets vaccinated and rushes out and we see kind of a slowdown. That would only be a 5% increase over last year, up to $930 billion. That would be a 14% increase over last year. And that's more typical of what we see year over year in the e-commerce channel.
All right, so e-commerce is growing, but it's growing beyond just delivering packages to our front steps. Another growing trend is buy now, pay later. I know why it's good for consumers. I know why they want to do it, but is this good for retailers?
Yeah, it's very much good for retailers. In fact, what we've seen in February this year, so just last month, relative to February of 2020, which is kind of on the cusp of the pandemic, a 215% increase year over year in buy now, pay later orders. And in terms of retailers, it comes along with larger average order values. What we're seeing is 18% larger orders when customers are using that service.
Interesting. They used to call it layaway. I guess everything old's new again.
Yeah, although, with buy now, pay later, you actually get the good up front. You don't have to wait until the payment's done.
Yeah, good point. Another growing trend is buy online and pick up in store, also known as BOPIS, or sometimes it's buy online and curbside delivery, or sometimes it's buy online and e-commerce locker. People also call it click and collect. Not as fun as saying
That's
BOPIS. Right. Do you see that trend continuing?
Absolutely. So, in February of this year, we're already seeing it growing 67% year on year. It's always been huge and growing during the holiday season, but now people are clearly working it in as part of their fulfillment options, right? Picking up in the store gives consumers the ability to schedule it according to their availability and knowing that stock will be there for them when they want to pick it up.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.